Just imagine being a dog with no home, no food, and no one to care for you. You spend your days walking through streets, searching trash bins, hoping to find even a tiny bite to eat. There's no warm bed to sleep in, no gentle hands to pet you, and when you get sick, no one helps. Each day feels like a fight to stay alive. And most of the time, no one even notices when a stray dog disappears forever. But sometimes, a small miracle happens. This is the story of one such miracle. A dog who looked like a fossil, until someone chose to care. The story begins in Argentina, where the city streets are always busy. Cars honk, people rush, and everyone seems focused on their own lives. But in the middle of all this noise, many stray animals are quietly suffering. People pass by without seeing them, without noticing the sad eyes or thin bodies lying near their feet. One of those animals was Jasper. Jasper was once a happy dog. He lived with a young couple who adopted him during a tough time in their marriage. They couldn't have children and thought that a dog might help fill the empty space in their hearts. And for a while, it did. Jasper brought peace and happiness into their home. The couple laughed more, fought less, and loved caring for him. They would take turns feeding him, brushing his soft fur, and holding him close at night. Jasper felt safe. He didn't know he was part of a temporary fix. But love doesn't always last. The fights returned, louder and meaner than before. Then one day, the wife packed her bags and left. The husband stayed for a little while, but he was heartbroken. Eventually, he walked out too. He locked the door behind him, but left Jasper inside. Jasper waited by the door, wagging his tail, hoping to see his owner again. But no one came. Days passed. His food ran out. The house grew cold and silent. Hunger clawed at him. Somehow, maybe by breaking a window or maybe someone opened the door, Jasper finally got out. But now, he was alone. Just another stray on the streets. Jasper was confused. He didn't know what he had done wrong. Just a short time ago, he was someone's happiness. Now, he was alone and forgotten. At first, life on the street wasn't too bad. Jasper still looked clean and friendly. People gave him small bits of food, and some even smiled at him. He wagged his tail, hoping someone would take him home. But that didn't last long. The weather turned cold. Jasper got sick and started scratching all the time. He slept in dirty corners, trying to stay warm. His fur began falling out, and his shiny eyes lost their light. He no longer looked cute, just tired and sick. People stopped helping. They shooed him away like trash. No one wanted a dog like that, and that wasn't enough. As more days passed, Jasper looked even worse. He was thinner, weaker, and more alone than ever. Sores covered his body. His skin was dry, cracked, and had no fur left. As Christmas came closer, he didn't look like a dog anymore. He looked like an old statue left in the dirt. But he was still alive. Barely. People walked past him every day. Some thought he was already dead. Others just hoped he was, so they didn't have to feel sad. By December 20th, Jasper had given up. He didn't move. He just lay there, shaking from the cold. His ribs stuck out, and his eyes stared at nothing. People kept walking, laughing, carrying gifts, talking about Christmas. No one noticed the dying dog on the ground. But then came December 23rd, a day that changed everything. Fatma, a young animal rescuer, had come to Buenos Aires to visit a friend. Her friend lived near the house where Jasper was lying. One afternoon, while going out for a walk, Fatma heard people talking about a lifeless dog near the corner. Something about those words hit her heart. She didn't wait. She rushed through the streets, searching with growing worry. Then she saw him. Jasper. He looked like a pile of bones, lying still on the cold ground. His fur was gone, his skin cracked, and his body barely moved. Fatma's heart broke. Tears filled her eyes. How could no one help him? She thought. Why did everyone just walk past? She knelt beside him. Hey, she whispered softly, not knowing if he was even alive. For a moment, there was silence. Then, a soft groan. His eyes slowly opened and looked into hers, just for a second. But in that second, she saw it. Pain, fear, and a cry for help. Fatma didn't wait. She carefully lifted him into a crate, holding back tears. He was so light, like air. She rushed to the nearest vet, praying he would survive. The vet examined him and said something that gave her a tiny sliver of hope. But the vet's words were not easy to hear. He looked at Jasper and said, "He might survive, but only if he makes it through the Christmas weekend." That meant Jasper needed care every single hour. It was a big responsibility. Fatma had come to spend Christmas with her friend, but she didn't even think twice. "I was ready to give everything I had to save him," she said. She canceled her holiday plans, made a small, warm space for Jasper in her friend's home, and stayed beside him, day and night. The first few days were really hard. Jasper wouldn't eat, he wouldn't move. He had given up on life, but Fatma hadn't given up on him. Every few hours, she gave him water with a dropper. She spoke to him gently and stayed close so he wouldn't feel alone. "There were moments I thought he was going to die," she said. But after a week, something changed. Jasper blinked. Then, slowly, he lifted his head. A moment later, he ate a small piece of food from Fatma's hand. It wasn't much, but it was hope. That tiny bite told Fatma one thing: Jasper wanted to live, and that was all she needed to keep going. In the days that followed, Jasper started to heal. He still couldn't walk, but he tried. Fatma helped him sit up, gently held him, and talked to him like he was her baby. "I told him I had all the time in the world," she said. And somehow, Jasper understood. After 3 weeks, he stood on his own. He shook a little, lost balance, and fell. But he got up again. Then, one day, he walked. Slowly at first, then faster. Soon he was running around the house, wagging his tail and barking with joy. The sad, silent dog was gone. One day, Fatma smiled and realized something. I was so focused on saving him, I forgot to give him a name. So she named him Jasper, after a symbol of strength and protection. A perfect name for a dog who had almost given up, but chose to fight. Weeks turned into months. His fur grew back. His eyes sparkled. He followed Fatma everywhere, curled up next to her on the couch, and barked if she wasn't paying attention to him. He was no longer a pile of bones. He was a happy, healthy, and very loved pup. At first, Fatma thought she would only foster him. But after everything they had been through, she knew she could never let him go. Now, Jasper lives a full life. He plays in the yard, goes on walks, and gets all the cuddles he wants. And every Christmas, Fatma looks at him and remembers. One second glance, one kind moment. That's all it took to bring Jasper back to life, with a little love.